Two more NBA playoff games tonight. Game 5 in the Houston-LA and Chicago-Cleveland series. I'm going to break down game number 5 between the Bulls and the Cavaliers and give you a free play, plus 2 free picks in baseball tonight. Washington and Arizona, Philadelphia against Pittsburgh on this Tuesday video report. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, general manager of the world's largest online sports handicapping website in the world. That, of course, is VegasSportsAdvisors.com. Each and every day, providing you in-depth analysis and free selections here on my daily video report. And remember, these are my free plays. If you want my best bet tonight, which happens to be the Game 5 side in the Clippers-Rockets contest, plus the best bets of all the handicappers over at VegasSportsAdvisors.com, over $900 worth of action, well, guys, you can get them for free. Free, with no strings attached, simply by checking out VegasSportsAdvisors.com and using the one-day free all-access pass. Free means free, guys. There are no strings attached. I don't play those type of games. Why do I do it? Well, unlike the Wizard of Oz, I do pull back the curtain. I want to show you everything the handicappers have so you can get a taste, a feel of how they break down games and hopefully make money on my dime. That's why I'm giving you one-day free access pass over at VegasSportsAdvisors.com. Before we move forward to tonight's NBA preview, I think it's always important to take a look at what happened in last night's games. Of course, last night, Golden State and Memphis, everybody and their brother, I think, was on the Grizzlies, plus me, as a 4-point home dog. But Golden State last night showed up and played with a sense of urgency they really hadn't displayed in the past couple of games in that series. Defensively, they cracked down, held the Grizzlies to just 37.5% shooting in the field. You know, Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol both had good games. They combined for 31 points and 21 rebounds. Problem is your other three starters, Mike Conley and Courtney Lee and Tony Allen, they just had 20 points combined for the Grizzlies. Steph Curry had 21 of his 33 in the first half last night. He broke out of a shooting slump, 11 for 22 from the field, hit 4 of 9 three-pointers. Draymond Green finally showed up in this series. After shooting 9 for 30 in the first 3 games, 16 points, 10 rebounds last night on 6 of 12 shooting. That's why the Warriors won that game. Now, in terms of the Washington-Atlanta game, if you watched yesterday's video report, I thought the key I told you for the Hawks was for Jeff Teague to get back into the groove. Because his previous 4 games, he'd averaged like 11 points a game and just hadn't been doing much with the Hawks offense. Well, last night, Teague had it going. 26 points, 8 assists. And you could see the Hawks had that free-flowing offensive style, which led to them winning 60 games in the regular season, which led to them wrapping up the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference many, many weeks ago. Last night, that team played, and they played well. The final score was closer than the game actually indicated. I mean, after all, the Hawks were up by 10 points at halftime, 14 points and 1 point in the second quarter. Yes, did Washington come back and make it close? They did. But what happened to the Wizards last night? Also in yesterday's video report, I told you that one of the keys for Washington, they had to sustain the production they were getting from their big men. Going into game number 3, I told you the problem with Washington was Nene had been ineffective in the series, just 2 points in the first 2 games. Then he had 17 points and 9 rebounds in game number 3. Well, last night, Nene, Gortat, Gooden, Porter, the 4 big men, 2 in the lineup, 2 off the bench for Washington, they combined for 22 points. 22 points. If you're the Washington Wizards, and I've told you throughout this series, you have the size, the height, and the bulk advantage. You've got to be able to pound that ball down low in the lane. You've got to take advantage of the size. They didn't. They lost, and that's why that series is tied up. Now, taking a look at tonight's game between Chicago and Cleveland, listen, before the opening introductions, they ought to unfurl the Red Cross banner for these 2 injury-wrecked teams. You know what's happened in the last 2 games. I don't have to recount it for you, with Derrick Rose and LeBron James both hitting game winners in the final second of play. I look at what has happened here in terms of injuries as how this game is going to play out. Obviously, not knowing if Paul Gasol is going to be available, he's anywhere from doubtful to a game-time decision after missing game number 4 because of that strained hamstring. That certainly cripples the Bulls. But you know, in game number 3, it didn't bother him that much because then Mirotic and Gibson combined for 21 points and 17 rebounds. But in game number 4, they didn't produce, just 9 points and 11 boards. They have got to produce on the floor if Gasol isn't in the lineup. Now, for the Cavaliers. Yeah, LeBron's going to play. You know he's going to play, even though he sprained his ankle a bit there. But the bottom line, Kyrie Irving's going to play, but he's not healthy. MRI revealed yesterday. Not only is he playing with a sprained right foot, but he also has left knee tendonitis. You've seen how poorly he shot in this series. You have seen that ever since rolling his ankle, which affected his foot injury that he suffered in Game 2 of the first-round series against Boston. When he hurt himself again and aggravated the injury in Game number 1, he has been unable to drive the lane. And listen, he's a penetrator. He's a disher. You got to have him driving to the hole. He's not getting to the free throw line either as well. So that cripples the Cavaliers to a certain extent, especially when you consider they're already playing without one of their big three in Kevin Love. So what happens in this game here tonight? Well, guys, listen, I look at this contest, and I just don't see a blowout. I could see the Bulls winning this game, but what I really see is a 5-point number. To me, this is one of those low-scoring, defensive dominated games, 92 to 89, 94 to 92, 88 to 84. You get my drift. You got to take Chicago plus the 5 points in this one. Now, in baseball, I find an interesting baseball matchup tonight when Pittsburgh takes on Philadelphia for the second straight night. Pirates extended their winning streak to 3 in a row with a 4-3 win last night. A.J. Burnett, who last year took $15 million and pitched poorly for the Phillies, joining them at free agency after leaving the Pirates. All he did was lose 18 games and had a 4.59 earned run average. So this year, rather than opting for retirement and opting for bigger money from Philadelphia to return, he instead went back to Pittsburgh, and through 6 starts, he has a 1.66 earned run average. Now, the Phillies are going to go with Sean O'Sullivan, who is, shall we say, auditioning for the number 5 starter's role, because basically, I think there's some of you out there watching this video. You could be auditioning next week for the Phillies' number 5 role. Hell, you may be auditioning for the number 4 spot in their rotation. That's how bad it is. O'Sullivan coming off the disabled list, where he spent some time with a minor knee injury. His first 2 starts this season, both against the Washington Nationals, 11 innings worked, 10 hits, 6 runs, among them 3 homers. And by the way, he also walked 3 batters. Phillies have lost 5 of their last 6. They are the worst team in the major leagues in terms of runs scored, only 94 in the season, and batting average, I think like 213 composite batting average overall. I'm going to go with the Pirates, minus the $1.55 in that one. Listen, if you get the Pirates under $1.60, you got to play Pittsburgh. I want to play them on the run line because Pittsburgh is no offensive juggernaut either, but I do like the Pirates in that game. And finally, I'm going to go with the Washington Nationals for a second straight day here on the video report, minus $1.40 this time at Arizona. Last night, they jumped out and scored 10 runs in the first 2 innings to win the series opener 11-1 behind Max Scherzer. For the Nationals, they've won 5 straight in which they've averaged 8 runs a game, 11 of their 13 overall. They've won 15 of the last 19 versus the Diamondbacks, including 7 of 8 meetings the past 2 seasons combined. Steven Strasburg had his start last night pushed back to tonight because he left his last outing with some shoulder stiffness, which was taken care of by a visit to the chiropractor. He's 3-1 with a 2.25 earned run average and 6 career starts against the Diamondbacks. He is 5-1 in his last 7 road starts, so I'm going to go with the Nationals here, minus $1.40 as your other complimentary play. So again, the Nationals and the Pittsburgh Pirates in baseball, the Chicago Bulls plus the points. Remember to check out the 1-day free all-access trial pass. Get all of today's best bets for free over at VegasSportsAdvisors.com. Good luck, everybody, and we'll catch you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.